I did this big series of portraits. I think there were about 12. They were enormously popular. I think people got a lot out of them. Yes, this was a dear old man that I met in the harbour at Mevagissey, and I asked if I could draw his portrait. He was obviously an old tar. He put out his hand and said, well, for a fee. And so I put £1 in his hand and a £1 coin and started drawing him. And he really thought he was rather the bee's knees, actually. Had lovely white beard and white hair. And then the hand came out again after about 20 minutes. So I don't know how many coins went into that hand. And then he disappeared. So I thought politely he was going to the loo. He wasn't, actually. He went along the quayside to a bar and spent a little time in the bar with my bank coins. I spent the lot, he said, and so he'd sit again. And we had the most marvellous day, and I realised that we were communicating so much. Made me start thinking, let's say, of the idea that human beings could communicate without necessarily using language. And in Morocco, in the desert, I met a man with some camels. So he stood with his camels, and it was lovely, and his sort of face was full of pleasure. In the Seychelles, actually, I painted a portrait of the most evil man I've ever met, evil-looking man. He really was evil. My favourite chemist still in the world, who every time I go in there, into the chemist shop, he beams at me. And it sort of makes you feel, you may go in feeling ill and you come out thinking about smiling. I was given a lovely luxury cruise to the Norwegian fjords. It was somewhere that I wanted to paint all my life, really. And on the second day, the ship broke down. So instead of seeing lots of fjords and the northern lights and everything, we saw one fjord. And in that one fjord, we had about 3 hours. So I painted like that and drew, photographed. And the thing that astonished me was the number of small cottages or small farmhouses that were totally isolated, with no roads or paths or anything to them, and just a boat. So that was their one contact. And here we've got the little farmhouse and the boat at the foot of the cliff. What an incredibly isolated life. Perhaps tremendous loneliness, I don't know.